Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be, Shield Destroyer. So I'm obviously trying to use my words. Your words are your sword, hence why it's put the S at the front of words and you got sword. And I'm using my words in order to dismiss anything that comes from corporations under the birth certificate name, and take control of the corporations and put them under my jurisdiction, not me under theirs. They are supposed to serve us, not us serve them. And what way is it going, people? What way is it? It's not even going, it is, isn't it? We are serving them, we are paying them money, we are abiding by their rules and regulations, right? You're not working for us, we're working for them. Absolutely, right? Because of your birth certificate. So, like I say, I don't think, you need to go down, you don't need to read the Black's Law Dictionary or Black's Law Dictionary, because that's exactly why it's called the Black's Law Dictionary, because it lacks law. It's legalese. So, these are the emails. I've just put them onto here so it's easier to read, and also so I can block out any personal information. But it should give you an idea of exactly what it is that people should kind of be saying. I'm not saying this is correct by any means, because as you'll see by the end of it, there is quite a lot here. Look. These are just different emails, so we'll go through the emails if you want an idea of the way I'm going about it compared to maybe how other people are going about it, right? Without having to think, I haven't got time to learn the language of legalese, because that's all legalese is a language, nothing more. It's a language, it's commerce, it's all commerce rules. So if you work for a company and they've got rules and regulations, and you've agreed to follow those rules and regulations through the contract that you sign, then it's exactly the same as that. But they're assuming that you've signed up to legalese, right? It's all by assumption. So we're taking that assumption away. This to the corporate administrator, which a lot of people might even call a judge, right? That's all they are. They're just an administrator. We are a nation of people, not a state. Very important. State is one. You're agreeing to be governed by one body, right? We're not. We're a nation of people. We're not a state. Even though we're now, the UK, for example, is now being treated as a state. Obviously, America. It literally says it, doesn't it? United States. Ignorance of law is no excuse. So we're turning that phrase back on them, right? The ignorance of the law is no excuse. Any ruling in commerce is not a lawful ruling. I've been known to use the name associated to the titled reference number. I am a living man, not a person, dead fiction, nor am I a corporation. I am currently looking into bringing charges against all corporate bodies involved in harming my being through legalese policies. Under Justin Rem, I have the right to be left on my land in peace, and under the Bill of Rights I will be looking into a case against all said corporations and the men, women hiding behind titles within them for harassment, kidnap and assaults. Beds Police, magistrates, courts and other foreign corporations have been stealing, threatening and kidnapping me over many years. I highly suggest that you send me an offer of compensation for kidnapping me, holding me and only releasing me under threat of keeping me kidnapped if I didn't be quiet. I also insist on all involved in my kidnapping are arrested for their crimes. I suggest you look at your house, car and bank balance and ask yourself, did you get paid enough for your soul? Karma. Always sign it karma, right? This is basically going to the SJS, which we'll see what that is in a minute. And this is really regarding them the one case where they arrested me because I simply told a van load of police what they were and what they were doing, right? How they were just a big gang of thugs in a costume, and just because a man says that they can arrest and beat people up and abuse people and harass people based on another man's policies, it makes them, and because they get paid and it's called a job, they're still a gang. That's all the police are. It's the biggest gang in the world, as I always say, right? The biggest criminal gang in the bloody world. And they wouldn't be so brave. They didn't have weapons. They didn't have a big gang. If there was just one policeman on his own out there, right, you think he would be so tough? Thinking, no, of course not. But now they got the weapons, and then when they get, overpowered, they've got their little buttons to press where the rest of the gang turn up, right? None of us have that, do we? They're weak. So this is it, sjs@justice.gov.uk, where I've sent this to, right? For attentions of persons with significant control of corporate entity of which I address. So I assume, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I probably didn't get a response to this one. So I'd probably just resent again. I am the agent and distinguished beneficiary of the birth certificate, mark, your full name, birthed on, your full birth date of that corporation, right? Birthed on December. As such, I hold all jurisdiction over this corporate entity. I also hold jurisdiction over all corporations and demand that your corporation removes this name from your records. All revenues that have been taken from this birth certificated corporate person must be immediately returned with interest and compensation to the degree of harming living man. All resources or profits made from them are to be shared equally among all men. Failure to follow these simple and clear demands will be seen as enslaving man against his will and will be on the souls of all that profit from such a disgrace. I've signed that one, sorry, man, right? Simply man. Good morning. So this is a response. Thank you for your email. If you wish to dispute a court's decision, you will need to ask them to reconsider your case. To do this, you will need to complete a post-court options web form. If this is the correct option for you, please reply to this email with the following information. Your first line of address, your postcode, the organisation prosecuting, the type of offence, the date of offence. And of course that's not what I'm doing, so clearly somebody, Samuel R, hasn't even bothered reading, he's just responded, right? So I've responded back. I'm not asking for anything. This is literally just, I just respond, and I won't take any time about it. I was just making it clear. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm telling you that when you judge the birth certificate corporate name, you are messing with the life of man that overpowers all of your jurisdictions. Take the corporate name off your list as I'm judging it. Never your sick corporation of thieves and enslavers. Good afternoon, Karma. Weirdly, right? So they've gone all the way to the top because this is in order. Your letter email in the case, defendant's name and case reference has been received. Kind regards, Glenn. CTSC support officer. So as you can see, this is the HM Courts and Tribunal Service, right? But you need to write sort of these emails probably to sort of every single corporation that dares to think that it can somehow have jurisdiction over you, demand something from you. And hopefully we'll this last one will now get a response. It's weird that they've actually responded to say this been received after this first one responded with this shit, right? So is somebody taking this seriously? Has it gone up the line? I don't know, people, but it doesn't matter to me. As long as I've told them, that's all that should matter, right? As long as I've been truthful and clear, which I am, of course, because I am not the birth certificate name. I can't be a birth certificate. I can't be a corporation. I can't be a dead fiction. And I know who I'm not and who I am, and I am just a man, right? What I wish to be called by is entirely up to me. I might change that day to day. I might be Karma today, man tomorrow, and then maybe on Friday, maybe I'll say, "Oh, call me Mark today." That's entirely up to me, right? What I want to be called. I can walk free on my lands, be named what I wish to be named. Although I never liked the word name, right? But if people, if you don't like this way to do it, go about your own way of doing it, and then perhaps post it. Because the more people who do something like this, we got 1 million people out there going about their way on how to respond to these people and get out of this sick system. And the way to get out of the sick system is to override their jurisdiction. Don't understand them, overstand them, right? Stand over their jurisdiction. You are a higher jurisdiction as a living man than the dead world of corporations. So please, if you're doing this yourself, if you're getting out, if you're trying to get out, let me know. If something's working for you, definitely let us know. If you're getting a response saying, "Oh right, there you go, there's £1 billion," and yeah, sorry, we just assumed you were your birth certificate or that birth certificate name. We didn't have a clue that was just a piece of paper and it wasn't actually you. But now you've told us, whoa, we better lay off, right? And they should do that. I mean, I think the response at the end is kind of a bit of an idea that maybe they're going to. As we know, the court case where they're trying to get me for speeding all the time, they're now adjourning, right, for 3 months. Again, that was a handwritten letter that I put into them. So we'll see how that one goes. But never give up, no matter how much bullying, no matter how many threats, no matter how much they steal from you, no matter what they do. If they want to fucking, whatever they do, it's going on their souls, right? Each individual's, it's going on their souls, people. Don't worry about this life. It's a shithole. It's a devil's world, right, full of idiots. Everyone's praying to God, and they haven't got a clue what that word even means, because no one does, because it's sold as, oh, God is an entity in the sky that nobody's ever seen, but it's a story, and this is what we're telling you all to praise. I dare say God is probably the top man, right? They're all praising the top scumbag disgrace. And that could even be the devil itself, right? Everybody's getting down on their knees and bowing down to. But stand strong, people. Don't fall for anything you're taught, because teaching is a load of bollocks. It's cross each. Teach, right? You're taught, cross all. You're messed up if you start to think somehow you've learned anything from school, churches, media, pretty much anything in this world where you think you've learned, and now you ain't learned shit. You've just been mind controlled. And it's about time everybody should want to get out of the system. If you're still voting, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? If you're still going down to ballot boxes and going, "Oh, look at me, over 18." You know what I mean? It's because under 18s have more sense, clearly. By the time you're 18, you're so programmed, they know you're so stupid you're going to go and do it, right? They're changing it to 16. So somewhere in that educational system, they're making them dumber than the 16-year-olds before the new 16-year-olds, right? They're laying on something extra in that time period. So 16-year-olds turn out dumber, right? But we know most 18-year-olds to 80-year-olds these days, thick as pig shit, right? Thick as pig shit. Completely mind controlled, completely just dosed out on whatever drug they're taking, whether it's a drug from the telly, the pharmaceuticals, or just on the streets. They're all just out of it, right? Or whether it's the ones they stuck in their arms in 2021. But there you go, just giving you an idea of the sort of things that I'm writing and showing you, look, this is the way I'm going about it. I'm not saying follow, you do what you want to do, right? But I'm just giving you an idea of, don't be scared of them. So many people think, if I did that, suddenly they're going to be banging my door. Who cares? If they bang your door down because you're fucking going in there, fucking their bollocks up and saying, "No, I'm not your slave." What would you do if you were literally a slave, right? Would you fight and try and free yourself, or would you just lay down and go, yes sir, no sir, please sir, or whip me some more, you little bastard, right? You hopefully you would do everything in your power to get the fuck out of out of those chains, and you are in chains, whether you realise it or not. Every man who's working, who's paying tax, who's under this legally system is a slave. Get yourself out, people, and the more people that try, eventually the more are gonna, and then hopefully they'll pass that on to all the other people that are desperately trying. Have a good one. Cheers.